Hello! If you've been waking up tired, feeling wired at night, or struggling to fall asleep no matter how exhausted you are, this might be why. You probably reach for your phone before bed. Most people do. But what if that one simple habit is the reason your body can't produce melatonin the way it's supposed to? What if the screen you think is helping you relax is quietly destroying your ability to rest? In this video, we're going deep into the science behind it, why it happens, how it affects you, and what you can do to finally reverse it. So stay with me. Now, let's begin. You probably don't even remember the moment you picked up your phone tonight. It wasn't a decision, it wasn't conscious, it just happened. Like a reflex. Maybe your room was too quiet. Maybe your thoughts were too loud. Maybe the silence felt like too much. So you reached for the screen without thinking. Just a glance, just a scroll, just one more look. But what if that tiny decision, the one you didn't even register, was the very thing that shattered your sleep before it even began? There's something strangely comforting about holding your phone in the dark. The glow against your skin, the endless content, the illusion of connection. It feels like a soft escape. But inside your brain, the scene looks very different. Behind your eyes, melatonin, the hormone that whispers sleep to your body, was starting to rise. Your system was preparing for rest. Breathing was slowing. Muscles were softening. And then, with a single flash of blue light, it stopped. Not all at once, but like a song suddenly paused in the middle of a melody. That soft signal your body was waiting for. Gone. You didn't notice it, of course. You were laughing at a meme, or watching someone unpack their morning routine at midnight, or checking a message you didn't really need to answer. It's not your fault. Phones are designed to keep you looking. They're designed to feel urgent, relevant, comforting. But your body doesn't speak digital. It speaks rhythm, light, dark, silence. It speaks in cycles, not swipes. And when that rhythm is broken, the effects aren't loud or dramatic. They're quiet, subtle, but they build, night after night. A little less melatonin, a little more alertness, a little more tension behind the eyes. Until eventually, you stop remembering what real rest felt like. That's the thing. Sleep doesn't respond to force, it responds to patterns. It listens for the same gentle cues night after night. A soft light dimming, a body growing still, a mind slowly releasing. But when your eyes stay locked on a glowing rectangle inches from your face, your brain interprets the signal as daylight. It's not metaphor, it's biology. The receptors behind your retina, specifically tuned to blue spectrum light, send a message straight to your brain's master clock. Stay awake. Don't release the sleep hormone. Delay rest. Delay dreams. And you wonder why you feel tired in the morning, why your body feels heavy even after 7 hours in bed, why your mind feels cloudy before lunch. It's not just the screen time. It's what the screen time is quietly replacing. The quiet, the winding down, the internal shift from alert to still. You see, every night your body performs a quiet ritual, one you're not even aware of. Your core temperature drops. Your brain starts producing slow delta waves. Your gut slows digestion. Your breath begins to deepen. And melatonin, if uninterrupted, begins to rise like a tide. But every swipe, every flash, every ping pushes that tide back. And eventually it forgets how to rise at all. You tell yourself it's not that serious, that you sleep just fine, that you need your phone to relax, that it's harmless. But deep down, there's a growing part of you that knows something's wrong. You wake up feeling unrefreshed. You rely on caffeine to feel normal. You feel wired at night but foggy in the morning. You've tried melatonin supplements, you've changed pillows, you've even tried meditation apps. But what if the real problem isn't something you need to add, but something you need to stop? You don't need a diagnosis to know something's off. You can feel it in your bones. That vague tension that never quite leaves your shoulders. That shallow breath when the room goes quiet. That restlessness that shows up exactly when you're supposed to feel peace. Maybe it's not anxiety. Maybe it's not insomnia. Maybe it's your nervous system stuck in alert mode, because you trained it that way with every midnight scroll. Think about this. The average person spends over 3 hours a day on their phone, and a huge chunk of that happens at night, in bed, with the lights off, directly into the eyes. That blue light doesn't just delay melatonin, it can suppress it by up to 80%. And the worst part? You won't even notice it in the moment. You'll feel tired, you'll fall asleep eventually. But your deep sleep will be lighter, your REM cycles shorter, your dreams fuzzier, and your body will spend the night floating instead of sinking into true restoration. We've normalized being tired. We joke about being zombies. We glamorize the hustle. But this isn't about productivity. This is about health, hormones, longevity, mood. Your brain uses sleep to clear out toxins, repair tissue, organize memories, regulate emotion. Melatonin isn't optional. It's a key. And when you silence it with light, you're telling your brain to work overtime in the dark. No wonder you wake up feeling like you barely rested. So the next time you reach for your phone at night, ask yourself this. What's it costing you? Not just in time, but in chemistry, in rhythm, in restoration. Because sleep isn't just the absence of wakefulness. It's a carefully orchestrated biological event. And your phone, quietly, slowly, invisibly, is playing the role of saboteur. Not loud, not dramatic. Just enough to keep your body from slipping into the deep. And that, right there, is the danger. Not the obvious destruction, but the silent. Drift away from balance. You're not tired because you work too hard. You're tired because you never truly let your brain sleep. Because your eyes never had a real night. Because the glow that lives in your hand has replaced the dark your body was waiting for. It always starts the same way. You're tired. You've had a long day. All you want is peace. You slip under the covers, adjust your pillow, turn off the lights. Your body begins to settle, but your mind doesn't. It's still chasing thoughts, still echoing with the noise of the day. So you do what feels natural, what millions do without even thinking. You grab your phone, you tell yourself you're just unwinding, just catching up, just watching something light before bed. But 10 minutes becomes 30. A message leads to a video. A video leads to a thread. Before you know it, the quiet you were craving has turned into another stream of noise. The screen lights your face in the dark. Your eyes don't blink as often. You scroll, and somehow still feel restless. The body might be still, but the mind is anything but. And by the time you put the phone down, your brain isn't preparing to sleep, it's wide awake. Maybe this sounds familiar. Maybe it's not just once in a while. Maybe it's every night. Maybe you've lost count of how many times you promised yourself an early bedtime, only to watch the hours disappear through the glow of a screen. And the worst part is, you're not even sure why you do it. You know it doesn't help. You know, you'll feel worse in the morning. But something in you keeps reaching for it anyway, because in that moment, your phone feels like a friend, a distraction, a doorway out of your own thoughts. But what if it's actually a trap? What if the very thing you use to escape your restlessness is the reason it never goes away? You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're human. And the modern world is designed to hijack your instincts. You're living in a time where everything moves fast, where silence feels uncomfortable, where rest is treated like a luxury instead of a biological need. You were never taught how to wind down. You were never shown how to transition from on to off. So your nervous system never learned what safety feels like in the dark. And now, every night, it keeps searching for reassurance, for novelty, for distraction, on a device that silently trains your brain to resist sleep. You lie there, staring into a screen, absorbing light that tells your body to stay alert. You feel tired, but wired. You close your eyes, but your mind won't. Let go. You try to sleep, but it feels like your thoughts are louder in the dark. And in the background, a part of you wonders if this is just who you are now, someone who can't rest no matter how much they need it. But it doesn't have to be like this, because what's happening to you isn't random. It's not just stress. It's not just overthinking. It's chemistry, it's rhythm. It's a cycle that got disrupted, and you can change it. Your sleep isn't broken. It's confused. It's waiting for the signal to begin. And that signal starts with darkness. Real darkness. The kind you can't get with a screen in your face. The kind that allows melatonin to rise. The kind that tells your nervous system, it's safe now. You can let go. If you've ever felt like your sleep is shallow, like your dreams are distant, like your body never fully shuts down, this is your answer. If you've ever wondered why you wake up tired even after 8 hours, or why your anxiety feels worse at night, or why your emotions seem sharper after sunset, this is the missing piece. It's not just about getting off your phone. It's about reclaiming the one thing your brain needs most to repair: rhythm. That's what this video is here for. Not to shame you, not to scare you, but to help you see what's been happening in the background, night after night. To give you language for the fatigue you couldn't explain. To give you back the power to change what's been silently stealing your sleep. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to start with awareness. Because when you understand how the glow of your screen disrupts your brain's chemistry, you can finally stop blaming yourself and start sleeping again. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's really going on when your eyes meet that screen in the dark. You'll know how melatonin works, why it matters, and what you can do to bring it back. You'll learn how a single habit, done differently, can change everything about your nights and your mornings. This isn't just information. It's a small door to a different kind of evening. One where your thoughts slow down, one where your breath deepens, one where your body finally remembers what it feels like to rest. So keep watching, because what's coming next might not just help you sleep, it might help you heal. We live in a world where light never truly disappears. City windows glow after midnight, billboards pulse on empty highways, bedroom ceilings flicker with the shadows of TV shows no one's really watching. But the most powerful light of all, the eye, one that does the most damage, fits in the palm of your hand. It doesn't feel threatening. It doesn't buzz or burn. It just sits there, humming quietly with notifications, updates, messages. And yet, it might be the most underestimated disruptor of sleep in modern history. You weren't built for this. Your body still runs on ancient programming. Long before smartphones and screens, your brain developed a sacred relationship with the sun. Light meant activity. Darkness meant rest. It was never a choice, it was biology. Every cell in your body listens to this rhythm. It's called the circadian cycle. And at the center of it is a clock, an actual cluster of about 20,000 neurons. Deep in your brain, in a place called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. That's the conductor, and light is its baton. This clock doesn't run on hours. It runs on exposure. Morning light tells it to release cortisol, to wake you up, sharpen focus, get your system going. Evening darkness tells it to release melatonin, to calm the system, slow your metabolism, prepare for deep rest. But there's a catch. The system can't tell the difference between natural and artificial light. It responds the same way. And blue light, specifically the wavelength that radiates from your phone's screen, is the worst offender. It mimics sunlight. And when it hits your eyes at night, your brain believes it's still daytime. That one small screen is enough to send a confusing message. Stay alert. Delay the melatonin. Hold the line. Keep the system awake. And the suppression is not subtle. Studies show that blue light exposure just 2 hours before bed can reduce melatonin production by as much as 80%. That's not a small dip. That's a hormonal blackout. It doesn't just delay your sleep, it changes the quality of it. It reduces REM cycles. It fragments your deep sleep. It shortens total restoration. And the scary part? You probably won't notice it until the damage becomes a pattern, because most people don't feel it after one night. But after weeks, months of this silent suppression, something begins to shift. You feel foggy in the morning. You need 2 coffees to function. Your emotions swing faster. You get irritated by small things. You feel wired at night, but sluggish during the day. And because you're still technically sleeping, you assume it must be something else. Work stress, age, hormones, anxiety. You look everywhere except the device that glows against your face each night. But the truth is, your phone isn't just distracting you. It's teaching your body a lie. It's teaching your brain that night is not for rest. That light never ends. That vigilance is constant. That alertness is normal. And slowly, your circadian rhythm stops trusting itself. The signals blur. Sleep onset gets harder. Depth decreases. Recovery stalls, and it doesn't stop there. Melatonin isn't just a sleep hormone. It plays a critical role in immune function, metabolic regulation, and even DNA repair. It's an antioxidant, a protector, a regulator. When you interfere with it long-term, you're not just messing with your sleep. You're interrupting healing at the cellular level. Most people think of sleep as a switch, on or off. You're awake, or you're not. But it's not a switch. It's a cycle. And when one part gets disrupted, the whole system loses rhythm. Imagine a symphony where one instrument keeps playing at the wrong time. Eventually, the whole piece sounds off. That's what happens when you expose your brain to blue light at night. The melody of your biology starts to fall out of tune. And here's the most ironic part. We turn to our phones to relax. We watch videos to wind down. We scroll because the silence feels unbearable. But the very thing we're using to escape our stress is reinforcing it. You're not calming your brain, you're overstimulating it. Every ping, every swipe, every tiny flash of light is a stimulus. And when your brain is stimulated, it produces more alert chemicals, like dopamine and norepinephrine. These are not the allies of sleep, they are the allies of wakefulness. So night after night, you create a paradox. You tell your body, it's time to rest, but send every signal that says stay awake. And then you wonder why sleep doesn't come easily, why your thoughts don't quiet, why your chest feels tight at midnight. Your brain isn't broken. It's confused. Because the environment is lying to it, and the worst part? No one told you this. No one explained that your phone isn't just distracting. It's chemically altering your sleep potential. No one taught you that. True rest starts 2 hours before your eyes even close. That your sleep depends on what you do when you think you're still awake. That your body was never meant to process a flood of light and noise at the exact moment it was supposed to surrender. But now you know. Now you see it. The device in your hand is more than a tool. It's a trigger. Not of fear or danger, but of delay. A subtle, silent delay that keeps your most important system from doing what it's built to do. So the next time the room gets quiet and your fingers reach for that screen, remember, it's not harmless. It's not relaxing. It's not background noise. It's a biological message. One your brain reads loud and clear, and it says, don't sleep yet. Stay with me. Stay alert. Stay lit. And that, more than anything, is why the sleep you crave keeps slipping further away. It begins slowly. You check one last message. You answer a friend. You tap on a video without thinking. The light flickers across your face, but you don't notice it anymore. Your body feels still. You think you're winding down. But inside your brain, something entirely different is happening. Signals are shifting. Hormones are stalling. And the longer the screen stays on, the longer your brain stays confused. Melatonin, the silent architect of your sleep, is waiting for darkness. It doesn't respond to intention. It responds to light. And when your eyes meet the cool blue of your screen, even for just a few minutes, melatonin steps back. It doesn't protest. It doesn't crash your system. It simply disappears. Quietly, passively, like someone turning down the volume on your body's ability to rest. You may feel tired, but sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It's about timing. Your circadian rhythm works like a script. Light exposure in the morning sets the tone. Darkness at night cues the body to wind down. There's a rhythm to it. Your blood pressure drops, your body temperature falls, your heart rate slows, and melatonin begins to rise. But if the timing is off, everything is off. Think of it like a recipe. If you change the ingredients or skip a step, the result will never taste right. Now imagine you do this every night. The body starts preparing for sleep, but you keep introducing light. Not the warm orange glow of firelight or candlelight, the kind of light we evolved with, but the sharp artificial blue of digital screens. Your eyes absorb it directly. The message to the brain is immediate. It's daytime, delay the release. And this doesn't just affect how fast you fall asleep. It affects the layers of sleep your brain can access. Deep sleep, the kind that repairs muscle and regulates hormones, gets shallower. REM sleep, where your brain processes emotions and memories, gets cut short. You might still sleep 7 hours, but you'll wake up feeling as if you barely closed your eyes. You'll carry that fog with you through the day, compensating with caffeine, sugar, or stress. And the cycle begins again the moment the sun sets and your thumb finds the screen. Your body doesn't get used to this. It adapts, but in a way that costs you. Over time, your melatonin curve flattens. Your body stops producing it at the right times. Your ability to fall asleep naturally begins to fade. And when you finally do fall asleep, it's not the kind of sleep that heals. It's surface level. It's broken. You wake up feeling tired, even if the numbers on the clock say otherwise. And this isn't just theory. It's measurable. Scientists have tested it. One study exposed participants to iPads before bed and found not only reduced melatonin levels, but a measurable increase in the time it took to fall asleep. Worse, those participants felt sleepier the next day and had lower levels of alertness. Not just tired, they were cognitively impaired. And this was after just 5 nights. Now think about how long you've been doing this. Months? Years? How many nights have ended with that glow in your hand? How many mornings have started with exhaustion you couldn't quite explain? It's not a character flaw. It's not a lack of discipline. It's physiology. Your brain is trying to sleep in an environment that keeps saying stay awake. It's not just about the light either. It's about stimulation. Your phone is not neutral. Every scroll, every notification, every unexpected image triggers micro surges of dopamine. Your brain lights up with interest, curiosity, even stress. You think you're winding down, but you're activating the very systems meant to power off. And the more engaging the content, the worse the disruption. A scary video, a shocking headline, a heated comment thread. All of them keep your brain scanning, evaluating, alert. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between a real threat and a digital one. To your body, stress is stress. Stimulation is stimulation. The screen may be small, but its effects are anything but. So even when you finally put the phone down, your system doesn't just shut off. It stays on standby. It needs time to detox, to cool down, to let melatonin build back up. But most people never give it that time. They turn off the phone and expect sleep to come instantly. And when it doesn't, they assume something's wrong with them. But nothing is wrong with you. Your body is just reacting the way it's designed to. Your biology is working perfectly, under conditions it was never meant to endure. And until those conditions change, your sleep won't. Not because you're incapable of rest, but because you're stuck in a loop where your most important system is being told to do the exact opposite of what it needs. There's a moment, quiet, invisible, when the body is ready. When your brain, if undisturbed, begins the slow descent into real sleep. Not the kind you drift into after hours of exhaustion. Not the shallow version where you're half awake and still hearing cars outside. Real sleep, deep, restorative, untouched. And that moment? It happens before you even close your eyes. It happens when the body finally believes the night is real. But that belief is fragile. It's based on signals, on safety, on silence, on darkness. And when the screen lights up, even for just a few seconds, it shatters the illusion. The body doesn't argue, it just obeys. It pulls back the melatonin, it reactivates alertness, it gets ready again, for a day that isn't coming. You thought it was just a habit, just entertainment, just something to do before sleep. But here's the twist. Your phone doesn't just keep you awake, it teaches your brain to fear the dark, not consciously, not dramatically. But over time, the screen becomes your comfort. The glow becomes the nightlight. And real darkness, the very thing your biology needs, starts to feel unfamiliar, even unsafe. You reach for your phone not just to check something, but to avoid sitting with yourself. To avoid that slow, quiet descent into stillness that feels unsettling. This is the hidden cost. Not just lost melatonin, not just disrupted cycles, but a fractured relationship with night itself. You don't trust it anymore. You don't lean into it. You fill it. You stretch it. You interrupt it, and your brain never gets the message it's been waiting for. You can let go now. And what's worse, the body begins to adapt to this new reality. Your brain starts producing less melatonin naturally. Your sleep becomes dependent on stimulation tapering off, not on rhythm building up. You don't fall asleep. You crash. You don't rest. You disconnect. And the next day, you wake up more tired, more reactive, more desperate for coffee, sugar, speed. You've trained your brain to sprint into stillness. But sleep was never meant to be a sprint. It's a glide, a surrender, a biological ballet that can't begin until the stage is dark. Now here's the revelation that no one tells you. Your sleep problem isn't about sleep. It's about light and silence and trust. You don't need to try harder. You don't need another supplement. You don't need a different pillow. You need to give your body what it's been begging for all along, a chance to remember what darkness feels like. This isn't about quitting technology. It's not about shaming your habits. It's about seeing clearly what those habits are, costing you. It's about realizing that the smallest, most ordinary part of your evening, the part where you check your phone one last time, is the moment everything unravels. Because sleep isn't a button. It's not a reward. It's not the thing that happens when the battery dies. It's the thing that begins when you stop trying, when you stop filling every moment with content, when you finally let the nervous system fall back into rhythm with the night. And the night? It's been waiting. Every single evening, your biology prepares for sleep as if it still believes you'll let it come. Your pineal gland starts working, your core temperature drops, your breath slows, your body begins the journey. And then, like clockwork, you reach for the screen. And it all resets. But this pattern isn't permanent. It's just familiar. The truth is, your body still remembers how to sleep deeply. You haven't lost that ability. It's just buried under layers of light and noise. All it takes is one change. One night where you do things differently. One evening where you protect your darkness instead of running from it. And when you do, the shift will be quiet, subtle, but undeniable. Your eyelids will grow heavy sooner. Your breath will deepen faster. Your thoughts will soften instead of scatter. And when you wake up, you won't feel like you fought through sleep. You'll feel like you returned from it. The real secret isn't about what helps you sleep. It's about what you stop doing that's been stopping your sleep all along. Tonight can be different. Not perfect, not revolutionary, just quieter, more honest. You don't need to throw your phone away. You don't need to become someone who meditates for an hour before bed or lives by candlelight. You just need to give your body a signal it can finally understand. And that starts with one small decision. Protect your last hour before sleep. Not for productivity, not for discipline, for restoration, for rhythm, for the version of you that's been exhausted for too long and doesn't know why. That hour, those final 60 minutes, are sacred. They're not about rules. They're about returning, about softening, about telling your brain it's okay to let go now. So here's what you do. An hour before bed, you power down. Not just your phone, but your exposure. If you can, turn off overhead lights. Switch to lamps, dimmers, warm bulbs. If possible, step outside for just a moment and let real darkness touch your skin. Remind your body what night actually feels like. That contrast alone, between the glare of screens and the softness of dark, is enough to start the shift. 2. You must use your phone, shift the spectrum, activate night shift, or use an app that filters blue light. Turn the brightness all the way down. Hold it farther from your eyes. And set a boundary, not just on time, but on type. No news, no drama. No scrolling into the abyss. If it doesn't soothe you, don't open it. Better yet, replace it. Not with rules, with rituals. A book. Not for information, for rhythm. The kind that lets your eyes slow down. A warm shower, not for hygiene, for temperature. That drop in body heat afterward is a biological invitation to sleep. Herbal tea, soft music, silence. Not because they're trendy, but because your nervous system is dying to know what calm feels like again. And if your thoughts get loud, don't panic. That's normal. You've trained your brain to only be quiet with a screen. It's okay if stillness feels awkward at first. You're not failing. You're detoxing. Let your mind wander. Breathe. If the restlessness builds, write it down. Empty it. You're not trying to fall asleep. You're trying to remember what it feels like to stop performing. If you live in a world that demands your attention all day long, giving none of it back to yourself at night is a recipe for depletion. These moments, these quiet cues before bed, are how you give your body permission to repair, how you show your system that the danger has passed, that there's no more input to process, that it's safe to descend, and here's what will start to happen. Not all at once, but slowly. The time it takes to fall asleep will shrink. The depth of your sleep will increase. You'll wake up less during the night. Your dreams will return. You'll start to wake up before your alarm, gently, with clarity, not panic. You'll begin to feel like your brain is working with you. Again, not against you, and all of it starts with light, or the absence of it. This is the turning point most people never reach, not because they can't, but because they never slow down long enough to ask what their body's been asking for. All along, you're not broken, you're not a bad sleeper, you've just been living out of sync, and this is how you begin to realign. So try it. Not forever. Just tonight. 1 hour, no screen, no stimulation, just the quiet, unglamorous, deeply powerful act of stepping out of the glow and letting the dark do its work. Your body remembers how to sleep. It's just waiting for the world around you to get out of the way. We talk about sleep as if it's just something we do. As if it's automatic, mechanical, the inevitable end of a long day. But it's not. Sleep is delicate. It's earned. It's the result of rhythm, safety, and surrender. And the longer we live disconnected from that rhythm, the more fragmented we become, not just in our sleep, but in the way we feel, think, move, cope. What keeps you awake at night isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, familiar, a screen held close to your face, a glow you barely notice anymore, a habit so woven into your routine that you don't even question it. But the body never adapted to this new normal. It tolerates, it compensates, it struggles. And over time, it starts whispering in symptoms, fatigue that doesn't go away, moods that swing without warning, focus that flickers like a dying bulb, signals that something's off. And deep beneath all that noise is one small, essential truth. Your body is still trying to sleep the way it was designed to. It's still looking for the dark, still responding to the light, still waiting for you to step back into sync. That's the beauty of biology. It remembers, even when we forget. Every night offers a choice, to feed the noise or return to silence, to fill every moment or make space for stillness. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about realizing that what feels harmless, just 5 more minutes, just 1 more scroll, is shaping the chemistry of your nights, the sharpness of your thoughts, the way your nervous system learns what safety feels like, because sleep isn't passive. It's active restoration. It's where your body recalibrates, where your brain reorders the chaos, where healing happens, not just physically, but emotionally, cognitively, hormonally. And when that process is blocked, night after night by the soft blue of a glowing screen, the cost is subtle until it isn't. The truth is, the thing you hold in your hand each evening is both a connection and a disruption. It brings the world to your fingertips and pulls you further from your own. But change doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's as quiet as letting go a little earlier, turning down the light a little sooner, giving your body a little more darkness, a little more quiet, a little more trust. Because rest doesn't come from force. It comes from invitation, and your body has been waiting for that invitation for a long, long time. It's strange how something so small, a screen, a habit, a little bit of light, can create such a ripple inside you. But that's the truth about sleep. It's not built in noise or brightness or stimulation. It's built in rhythm, in silence, in darkness. If this made you see your nights a little differently, tell me, have you ever noticed how your body feels after a night without your phone? Leave a comment and share your experience. I read every one of them. And if you want to understand your sleep on a deeper level in a way that actually helps, subscribe. There's more coming. Until then, rest well.